Pope Leo XIV has once again made decisions that speak louder than words, without giving long interviews or public homilies, without writing formal letters or making dramatic speeches. He has sent a message, one that is quiet but filled with meaning. This message came through his latest appointments to one of the Church's most important offices, the Dicastery for Institutes of Consecrated Life and Societies of Apostolic Life. On June 24th, an official bulletin from the Vatican announced that Pope Leo has appointed 19 new members to this dicastery. Out of these, 5 are cardinals. These new appointments are not just about administration. They are not just a list of names. They are choices that show something deeper, a direction, a mood, a quiet change in tone. Some of these choices are comforting. Others are troubling to some parts of the Catholic world. But taken together, they help us understand where things might be heading. One of the most talked about names on the list is Cardinal Arthur Roach. Many already know him as the head of the Office for Divine Worship. His name is strongly tied to the recent changes in the way the Church celebrates liturgy, especially when it comes to traditional Latin Mass. After the release of Traditionis Custodes, it was Cardinal Roach who shaped how the new rules were put into practice. In many ways, he went further than the text itself. For Catholics who love the older forms of worship, his role has been deeply controversial. Now he has been added to a group that oversees religious orders and communities, many of which are devoted to the traditional Latin Mass. For many faithful Catholics, this is a worrying sign. It doesn't seem like a neutral decision. It feels like a strong signal. It tells them that the Church might be moving in a direction that involves stricter oversight of tradition, and possibly even more restrictions in the future. This is not just about liturgy. It is about how the Church handles diversity within itself. Will communities that hold on to older ways be respected, or will they be quietly pressured to conform? Many hope for a time of dialogue, where different traditions could live side by side in peace. Roach's appointment seems to tell a different story, one not of reconciliation, but of regulation. Next, we come to Cardinal Cristobal Lopez, Romero, the Archbishop of Rabi in Morocco. He is a member of the Salesian order and is widely known for his work in Muslim-majority countries. He is also known for his open and inclusive pastoral style. Cardinal Lopez Romero has publicly supported Fiducia Supplicans, a Vatican document that allows blessings for people in irregular relationships. He even said that Catholics who disagree with it are still morally bound to support it. His appointment to this dicastery shows a different kind of shift. It points toward a stronger pastoral tone, but not everyone agrees on what that means. To some, it looks like compassion. To others, it feels like a weakening of clear teaching. By placing him in charge of religious life, the Pope may be encouraging a Church that focuses more on accompaniment and less on doctrinal precision. This could lead to new tensions. Many religious communities already feel caught between the call to speak the truth and the need to show mercy. Now, with leaders like Lopez Romero taking on greater roles, those tensions may grow. Some communities fear that their identity built on clarity, tradition, and deep spiritual discipline might be misunderstood or even put at risk. Then there is Cardinal Giorgio Moringo, a very different kind of presence. He is a consolida, missionary, and the apostolic prefect of Mongolia. He is also the youngest member of the College of Cardinals. Cardinal Moringo has spent his life in quiet service, working with small faith communities in remote places. He doesn't make big public statements. His style is one of prayer, humility, and daily dedication. Unlike the others, his appointment has not stirred debate. It has inspired admiration. People see in him something rare, calm, faithful witness to the gospel. In a church often marked by tension and disagreement, Moringo stands out as a figure of balance and peace. Even if he does not carry as much political or institutional weight, his presence in this group matters deeply. He reminds us that the Church also needs voices that are silent but strong leaders who lead by example, not by command. Among the newly appointed cardinals, one name holds special global significance: Cardinal Pier Battista Pitzibala, the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem. His life has been shaped by the unique challenges of the Holy Land conflict, interreligious dialogue, and the need for diplomacy. In 2023, during a time of intense violence, he offered himself as a hostage in exchange. For civilian captives, that brave act was not just symbolic, it was deeply pastoral and moved people far beyond the church. Cardinal Pitzibala brings a rare blend of strength and gentleness. He is not known for bold doctrinal statements or for taking sides in church debates. Instead, he works quietly to build bridges and find common ground, supports the general direction coming from Rome, including in matters of liturgy. But he avoids extremes. For those who wanted him to speak more clearly in favor of tradition, his silence has been disappointing. But for others, his careful approach is a sign of wisdom and patience. His appointment tells us something important, even in times of conflict. There is still space in the church for those who build peace quietly. He may not be a loud voice, but his presence helps balance stronger, more polarizing figures. In a group that includes both firm regulators and open progressives, Pitzibala could help keep the tone steady and respectful. Another major name on the list is Cardinal Leonardo Ulrich Steiner of Manaus, Brazil. He leads the archdiocese deep in the Amazon and is known for his involvement in social and environmental issues. His views on liturgy, enculturation, and local traditions have sometimes been controversial. He has supported the Amazonian Rite, still developing liturgical form that includes local customs and symbols from indigenous cultures. This liturgy has sparked debate, not just about form, but about what the church should look like in the future. Should it adapt more deeply to local cultures, even if that means changing long-standing practices? Should it consider new roles for married men, or even for women in certain forms of ministry? Steiner's appointment suggests that these questions are not going away. For communities that find their strength in clear doctrine and familiar liturgy, this direction is troubling. They worry that a focus on adaptation could lead to confusion or even division. The church has always welcomed diversity, but also unity. Finding the right balance is not easy, and many fear that the current trend leans too far toward change without enough clarity. So when we look at these 5 key appointments, Lopez, Romero, Moringo, Pitzibala, and Steiner, we see more than just names. We see a map, a quiet strategy. Some of these choices reinforce what we have seen from the Vatican in recent years. Others introduce new tones, new possibilities. Together, they show a careful and deliberate reshaping of influence. This is not about loud reforms. There has been no grand declaration from the Pope, but the message is clear. Pope Leo is moving. The Church, through choices, not speeches. Through appointments, not headlines. And that, in many ways, is more powerful. For Catholics who love tradition, who find their spiritual home in old liturgies, in clear teachings, in quiet monasteries, and faithful parishes, this is a time of concern, but also a time of quiet hope. Not the kind of hope that comes from winning a public argument, not the kind that comes from press releases, but a deeper kind, rooted in faith, prayer, and the belief that God works even through silence. Religious orders, contemplative communities, small parishes, and faithful families are watching these developments closely. Many of them will not speak loudly, they will not protest, but they will hold firm. They will stay rooted, and they will continue to live the traditions that have shaped them with humility and strength. This is not a time to panic. It is a time for vigilance, a time for patience, a time for prayer. What we are seeing is not a simple break with the past, and it is not a total return to tradition. It is something more subtle, a shift in tone, a quiet recalibration of the Church's inner compass. The dicastery for consecrated life does not just process paperwork. It shapes the future of religious communities across the world. It affects how monks, nuns, and religious brothers and sisters live out their vocations, and it has the power to support or to weaken the foundations of many spiritual homes. So these appointments matter. They matter deeply. For those who feel discouraged by what they see, the message is this: do not give up. Do not lose heart. The Church has faced many storms, and each time it has been renewed not by power, but by holiness. not by protests, but by quiet faithfulness. Saints are rarely made in the spotlight. They're formed in hidden places,